Storm Estonia has just made landfall in Tel Aviv. Victor Crone has had his first rehearsal of Storm. Shall we talk about it? Let's do this! Find out if a storm blew some of your DNA to a different continent with MyHeritage DNA. So yes, Victor Crone had his first rehearsal. It was a few technical issues, the very first run-through.
There were a lot of technical problems.
He spent a lot of time on the green screen.
Yeah, there were a lot of green screening to try and get the effect right for the final part where the graphics come in, like what we saw at Estonia. But to his credit, he didn't let it throw him.
No.
He kept on working, he perfected it, and he delivered a really good vocal as well for that part of the song. I think that there was definite progress. You know, the first run through we saw the stand-in do it, and it didn't have the same charisma, I guess.
No.
Victor has charisma and he sells it. You want to look at him on the screen, and whether or not there's a graphic behind him.
You just want to look at him, come on.
Well, exactly. Whether there's a graphic or whether not, he has a charm to him when he's playing the guitar, when he hands it off, when he's got it back at the end. There's just something about him that makes this likeable. Whether or not the graphic comes too late because it is a very late entry into the song, I don't know, and I don't know whether that maybe harms its chances, but you know, this is something where the second rehearsal will start to see the growth in this because they had to spend so much time on the technical issues today.
Yeah, completely. I mean, I think the first run through, you know, his consummate professionalism shone through. You know, he looks very good. He starts out with the guitar, there's black and gold screens. Those gradually radiate out and then it turns into a storm, but then by the end he's made it through the storm and it's all peaceful. So the imagery is very nice. He's a performer, he knows what he's doing. There were some vocal mix issues with the backing vocalist. I think that, similar to the screen thing, is more a technical problem, but at times they just did not really blend as you might have wanted them to. But he himself sounded great. I think it's just unfortunate they were beset by these technical problems because they probably spent a good 30 minutes or so it was a long period of time wrestling with the green screen, and that meant they only got a second run through when I think the effect itself actually didn't work again properly. So that having technical problems, that's nothing to do with him or the song or their chances, but obviously you ask question marks. Equally, it came alive a bit more on the bigger stage. I think a lot of people have been kind of talking about, you know, how will this compare because it's more of a radio song than some of the more abstract things. I actually think, if anything, this is going to look better as a result of kind of its contrast against those more abstract type songs. I thought he sounded great, he looked great. The staging just has issues, but I think the song is elevating for me. They just in second rehearsal have got to get the AR effects right and nailed.
So I have to be really honest, I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to the staging because my eyes were glued on Victor's face. He's just so darling, and I've thought that from the moment I saw him. This song to me has a bit of a country music feel that I really like. When I watched the initial video, I pictured Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga together in A Star Is Born, and I loved that movie. But there's something about Victor that just really draws you in. He's got great eye contact. He uses his hands. The sky is falling, turning things around. And I think it's really evident that this is a man who is going to weather the storm. So I look forward to paying more attention to the staging if I can take my eyes off of Victor. But this is one of my favorites. I went in today saying that for me today was an Australia day because I really wanted to hear Estonia and I really wanted to see Australia, and so that's all. I still love this song, and I think the staging really is going to make or break it.
Yeah, I mean, I will say to your point about we didn't see the full AR graphics. We could see, I'm thinking of what we saw with the stand-in and then the bit that we saw of Victor.
Yeah.
I just don't think that they probably had the time to put the graphics in the end.
I don't know, everyone else is doing AR stuff. I mean, Serbia yesterday, we saw them do the AR thing. I think they are having issues. Like, you would have practiced it at least once today.
Yes, I mean, it is strange. I mean, Australia did get it right, more or less. They just had to work out the camera cuts. But obviously, I think this might be a bit more complex, is what I'm thinking.
Oh, yeah, well, exactly. But, I mean, you know, it does raise questions. However, they still have time to get it sorted out, and they've clearly been able to replicate it with the stand-in. It's just today.
Well, I'm thinking Victor's going to weather that storm and get it all sorted out.
Yes.
And I do think you're right. You know, when you think about what he's surrounded by, you've got, you know, Georgia, which is sort of apocalyptic. You've got Australia, which is all kinds of crazy. Iceland, obviously very dark. And then Portugal later, which is sort of very artistic. Victor actually is just kind of a nice guy singing in the middle of it. And whereas I think some people might have thought he was going to get lost because of that, I think if anything now he stands out more because of it. Because he's not...
Point, Chris.
He's not in rubber. He's not wearing a weird cape. He's not... All these kind of things that are going on, actually some people might just really like having that break, which would be Estonia.
Yeah, it's a big radio sound. It's a very radio-friendly song. We've always said that. And I think that will appeal on the night. It's 200 million people, you know, lowest common denominator. I think it's appealing and good. And he sells it.
Yes.
That's the thing. He looks excited and happy to be on stage. So we just hope they get this staging conundrum fixed.
Well, that's what we think. What do you think? Do you think that Victor Crone will make it through? Do you think that we will see a storm on the Saturday night? Let us know here on wiwibloggs.
Don't forget to follow us on the live stream. We're here for you, showing every single event that happens. Also, if you haven't ordered your MyHeritage DNA kit, now is the perfect time to get the limited edition Eurovision DNA kit with free shipping using shipping code ESCWeWe.
We're talking directly to you when we say that.
And make sure to subscribe to the channel, give us a like, let us know what you think about Victor Crone and Storm, and follow us at wiwibloggs on social media and all of our social accounts, because they're in the bio of the video too. And we want to hear from you.
We will see you later. Bye.